The following message is brought to you by Balsamiq. Balsamiq have decided to support the SaaS District community by donating their sponsored airtime to some of our listeners. This episode is sponsored by WA.Team, the most economical WhatsApp official business API provider. They are a 100% white label solution for agencies. They also provide easy integration with major shopping CRMs. WhatsApp is the future of commerce, and they're trying to make it affordable, even for small businesses. If you'd like to automate and enhance your customer support by using WhatsApp Business API, visit WA.Team today. If you'd like to receive a promo code for a 90-day trial of Balsamiq, or even just thank the folks at Balsamiq for supporting our community, visit balsamiq.com/go/SaaS-district today. Hello, everyone. This is your host, Akil Jabbar, and welcome back to another episode of SaaS District. In today's episode, we are back on our special episodes as part of a mini-series for the month, where we interview different team members of a SaaS company to learn their expertise as part of the overall business strategy. On today's mini-series of Inside Balsamiq, we're going to talk about the importance of building longevity inside your SaaS business. And joining us as our guests today, we have Alasdair Mason and Valerie Liberty from Balsamiq. Alasdair is the customer champion of Balsamiq. He has been developing his passion for great service in a number of fields over the last 2 decades. Whether it's mobile computing, winter sports, video hosting, or wireframing, the one common factor is providing exceptional support, which we'll talk about today. And then here we also have Valerie, who is the head chef at Balsamiq, but she also handles sales and free inquiries in the WOW division. She is their first US employee and has been helping customers try to rid the world of bad software since the 90s, even before she and Peldy worked together at Macromedia or Adobe. Balsamiq may be a flat organization, but she still answers to one manager, which is her 18-year-old rescue pup, Cooper. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. So welcome, Alasdair. Welcome, Valerie. Super excited to have you guys on the SaaS District show today.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, this is really exciting for us. So thanks for hosting us.
No worries at all. So, a lot of our people listening in, they run a software company and they understand the importance of support, right? Customer support as part of a feature. But a lot of our new businesses have a great product, but maybe don't know how to do great customer support beyond maybe answering the calls and questions as more of a reactive way. What's kind of the Balsamiq's way of doing great customer support?
It's a really great question because, first of all, we think that in order to provide great support, you really have to love your problem, because that support faucet is not going to turn off. Even the best products, even the most well-designed systems are going to have humans who come back to you. So you have to love the problem that you're going to solve, hire like-minded people who are good at what they do, and then let them kick ass, right? We like to compete on product usability, of course, but also customer service. We have, since day one, paired them as equal values for us. It's, if we had corporate goals, that would be one of them. Our mission is to try and rid the world of bad software. And so that puts us on a place where it doesn't matter if you're a paying customer or not. We're trying to help you make better software, and removing that umbrella of payment helps us to also focus customers. Are we even the product that you want or need? Let's really talk about what's happening here. And then once we know it's a good fit, we can hit their issues from both angles.
And maybe just one follow-up question on that, which you said, learn or, being able to love the problem you're solving. Is that something, you've developed over time and you just found as you've kind of worked with the company, or is it something from day one that is a skill you must have and you must be obsessed with?
That's a great question. I'm the luckiest person in the world. Peldy and I worked together before this, and that was before Balsamiq even existed, was something that we knew. In order to be a happy person, in order to be productive and passionate at work, you have to love what you're doing. And I'm a problem solver, and I love puzzling it out. And it doesn't matter, right? I could do the same puzzle every day with 20 different people because there's always a little bit of a change. And maybe I have seen it before, so I can help you right away. Maybe it's something new because the world of technology has changed. So it's really about, finding people who love to do what they do and then just let them go.
That's fantastic. Makes perfect sense. And then you guys also have another, feature or, something you guys mentioned internally, which is called free mail. What exactly is free mail and how and why do you guys use that? Is that for you, Alasdair?
Yeah, I was gonna give Val a break. So we call it free mail. Free mail, simply put, are free licenses for nonprofits, educational institutions who are teaching user interfaces and user experience, and also what we call other do-gooders, maybe people who are contributing to open source projects or who are just using their personal free time or their retirement to donate, experience and time to projects which are helping to make the world a better place. And so we give them free licenses. In the case of some of those users, it'll be an expiring license, that lasts for the duration of a class or a course. And in other cases, we'll just give somebody a lifetime license for our desktop product so that they can go out there and help make the world a better place.
Was this a decision made? Do you know when this was decided? And, was this part of the whole education? Was it part of giving back? Or was it, okay, let's help these students use this as part of their curriculum. And maybe when they graduate and they get into the workforce, they'll also want to incorporate and continue using it.
Yeah, I think Val can probably speak better to this, but I know it goes right back to the very early stages of the company where Peldy made a decision to, support people. We see that we're helping people to make the world a better place, and we're helping them to help their customers and clients make the world a better place. But for him, I think software donation was a big part of that, and maybe Val can speak to the origins of that program.
There's another really healthy aspect to it. And that is the first people who we really, really wanted to help were students, right? Because we know, we all get it, right? Students, I don't want to say that they borrow software or they distribute software, but they get it. Nobody wants to pay a lot of money for a license for a class. So from the very, very get-go, we knew we wanted to provide schools a great way. And we provide it to schools, not students, because we wouldn't be able to keep up with that volume of students. So it's one license per school. Boom, done. And then the students can liberally distribute it because it's going to end in a year. And maybe these students who are getting it, on the side, they might be not in the engineering or CS department. They could be in the architecture department, and people are finding, wait, this is an excellent process that will help me to do what I need to do, even if I'm not designing a website. Right. I'm a comic book artist and I want to, storyboard. I don't know. We've heard some of the craziest people can wireframe just about anything. So, that was one of the original intents is to change the trajectory of license distribution to take the crime out of it. And then secondly, to address piracy, we know people pirate, right? We know that our product may or may not be easy to crack. What we do is we don't focus on that group of folks. People who pirate are going to pirate. There's a whole psychology about why you pirate, why you crack, why you get a little thrill out of it. They're not our customers anyway. We've got a different group of folks who we focus on. So we know that that's happening. That we kind of got off on a tangent, but free mails, or what we, Paula, one of our engineers from way back, we used to call them free keys, like the free keys. And so, the free keys, it could be, you don't even know what people are going to be doing with Balsamiq, but we're happy to help you out to rid the world of bad software.
No, that's interesting. Yeah, exactly. No, that's interesting that you guys, made that decision from the beginning, right? I can see that as, kind of as a reactive approach of, okay, look, our software is getting, being distributed for free or being hacked into. And then, giving away all this free software versus focusing, on the paying customers, I think is, seems kind of counterintuitive, right?
Maybe to an extent, I think the main driving reason is that, people ask us, why do you give away your software for free? It's easy. It's the right thing to do. And it makes a huge impact, and so it allows us to help, not just help people, but help people to help people. Yeah,
now that's a very good statement because, the reason why I brought up that question is because maybe there's some SaaS founders listening in, and their main core motivation is going to be growth and money and revenue. And I know you guys operate a little bit different. You don't have kind of KPI goals and growths and sales strategies, so which is kind of different than typical SaaS companies, but which I think will tie into the next question, which is building a company for longevity, right? Which is an important goal at Balsamiq. But before I get into that, go for it, Val. Yeah,
exactly. Before we get to that, I thank you a lot for refocusing that this is a SaaS podcast, because I want to also take people down that free road to the correct finish, which is we don't provide free SaaS. We don't provide free Balsamiq Cloud. Period. Amen. I don't care if you're a do-gooder. I don't care if you're a government. I don't care who you are, how you got here. Our cloud product is only paid for from within the app with a credit card. The other, we use Google. Our product away. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we aren't misleading anybody.
No, that's a fantastic way to think about it. It's like, we're still a business, we're still a SaaS company, but yeah, okay, we're just we just have a different way of distributing it and getting the word out there. Okay, perfect. So back to my point around the longevity, right? So which is kind of the core theme topic of this episode. That's an important goal for Balsamiq and mentioned several times with different guests as well. What's the importance of longevity and how do you guys approach that?
Well, we are super lucky to have a technical founder. Again, my favorite genius friend, Peldy. And he told me at the very beginning, hey, I'm Italian. We judge success not on quarters, on generations, right? Slow down, Val. We're here for the duration, which is why we had to focus on our core customers. The people who we value, the people who we're focused on, our mission is to help people who are trying to rid the world of bad software, right? Those pirates or, whatever, anybody who's not here, we're ignoring them, dealing with them as best we can. So from the very beginning, because Peldy was lucky enough, we were lucky enough to work at Adobe and, go through all those mergers and acquisitions and layoffs and contraction and all of that. And he was like, let's see if we can do it different. And let's see if we can do it in Bologna. I mean, it was just crazy enough at a time that it was, let's check it out, man. Magic. It's magic.
And here it is. Here we are. Yeah.
Right. Alasdair, do you want to say something about support in longevity and how we keep people from...
Absolutely. I think, and you touched on this, Akil, we don't, we're a very non-metric driven company. I've worked for some companies where the, KPIs are everything. And, a percentage, move up or down there, can change policy and procedure. We really don't look at our metrics, which sounds crazy. But that's because we really are focused on building relationships, finding the human in our customers, being empathetic and building long-term relationships with our customers. And I think that kind of speaks to the longevity piece. We'll occasionally, I work in support, so I read a lot of emails every day. And there's a little header at the top of each of the emails that comes in so I can see when, I last spoke to a customer. And it's not unusual for us to get an email from a customer that hasn't spoken to us for 8 years. And then they pop up in our email inbox and they're like, oh, hey, I had a problem. You're like, wow, you started using this thing 8 years ago and we're only just hearing from you again. And, so that's not unusual. And I think it kind of goes to, we're driven by, we have a set of defined company values that kind of reflect who we are and how we work. like most companies, we have policies and procedures, that guide our daily work. We also have some kind of more informal mantras. One of those is to meet customers where they are. And I think that, that speaks very simply to, if a customer wants to email us, then we'll answer their email. If they want to call us, then we'll answer the phone. If they want to send us a message on LinkedIn, then, whatever channel they want to use, we will meet them where they are. And that also goes to the, if they're wireframing in the classroom, we'll help them in the classroom. And I think that when you meet customers where they are, you kind of respect their desire to be helped the way they want to be helped. And so, speaking as a consumer, I have a very high bar for customer service because I deliver, I hope, exceptional support every single day. But when I'm a consumer of service, I set the bar very high. And so I'm very, very often disappointed by customer service experiences. But there's nothing annoys me more than when I want to email a company because I'm having an issue with a subscription or something's not working, and I can only call them. It drives me crazy, or the other way around, or whatever, but that's a company not meeting me where I am. And
or an automated chatbot, right?
Right, exactly. I'm a huge fan of internet chat. But the point I'm making is, I think that when you meet customers where they are, and you help them, whether it's once every 8 years or every 10 minutes initially, maybe when they're first starting out with the product, then you have the opportunity to develop a more human relationship with them and develop a more long-term relationship with them. And, it's possible from a business point of view that you got $70 from them over the course of 10 years. It's also possible that they might go to their manager and say, this company rocks, and they might buy a 2,000 seat license for a software as a service product. So it's, I think it's all about building long-term relationships with customers. And you can't measure that, it's hard to measure that qualitatively, but we all know it quantitatively. It's hard to measure that quantitatively, but we all know it qualitatively.
Qualitatively, that's right. And maybe just, so exceptional customer service, I agree with that. Maybe that's one part of, building longevity into your SaaS. Is there any other, practical areas of which how you guys are building and structuring that longevity piece into the overall company that you can talk about?
Let me just jump in quickly with one thing for SaaS companies. Third-party billing can be a nightmare. And I think that is probably a big challenge. And so I'll just tell you the way we solved that, because it takes a lot of stuff right off the table. So as I mentioned, Balsamiq Cloud is a SaaS product. All billing takes place from within the account. So the way ours works is, I'm Joe user. I create a free trial. I invite an unlimited number of humans. I have, an unlimited number of files in each project. We're billing you based on the number of projects. But now I don't want to flip my credit card in, or more likely, my company won't allow me to put a credit card into expense later. So we've got this billing only admin feature. And that email address could be tied to a person, of course, but it could also be a gang mail or something, can log in and see the details of the account without access to the intellectual property. And so the easy way for that is if you're using a reseller or, a finance team, they can just create their finance at email address, have their own password, log in, pay from within that. Everybody gets the invoices. Everybody knows when the account is, being notified of lifecycle events, but period, amen. So that's a nice locker that we use. I don't know if other folks are doing.
No, I mean, that's a real problem in the industry. And I had a guest on recently. You can check out the podcast named Sunir Shah. He has a company called AppBind. And that's exactly what he's solving, is that same issue, but seems like you guys solved it specifically inside. So you guys are thinking way ahead. Nice.
We're super lucky to have these super smart people who can commit their time to, all right, let's just solve this teeny. I mean, it's from where I said, come on, it's a teeny tiny problem, right? Just to fix it. And then let the engineers go crazy and solve it on their own terms.
Yeah, exactly.
Hook that guy up with us. Let us help him. Or maybe, we can share.
Definitely. Yeah. We'll make that introduction. If maybe other SaaS founders listening in, they want to start implementing, something similar in their business. Any thoughts that, maybe practical steps they can do? And maybe a question to ask themselves is, should all companies be aiming to go for the long run, that longevity, that Italian way of thinking, or, versus the typical, American or North American way of thinking of just grow and, short-term, quarter by quarter goals?
I mean, that's a good question. One thing that I was going to mention earlier when we talked about, support as a feature, and I think that this does have an effect on longevity, is hiring. Val and I talked about this in our preparation. Starting at the point of hiring is very important for us. I think, finding employees who share your values. I've heard the term culture fit before. I think there is something to that. But, we're big on hiring team members who are big on empathy, because that's a value that we value. And I think that, a good hire is something that just builds in longevity from the start. And conversely, a bad hire is something that, wastes time and money and causes a lot of short-term problems. So, we try and hire from within our community. We're always looking, we have a lot of different channels. We have a Slack workspace. We have a community of customers, obviously, but we do try and hire from within the community. And I think that if you get the hiring, if you focus on hiring right, that can help build longevity, almost as a side effect.
Yeah, I completely agree. Val, anything else you want to add before we get into the rapid fire questions? I see you have the three kind of slogans at the back. Be so good they can't ignore you. What are the three? Maybe just mention them out. What do you guys?
There's three on top that you can't see, so I'll just read. Okay. Sure. The first one: we're good people and we care. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of speaking to what Alasdair was saying. There we go. Alasdair will show you on the cup.
I got a mug. You got the poster.
Give and earn trust and respect. Be a great teammate. Those are the top three. Then we come down to be so good they can't ignore you. That's a Steve Martin quote that we've loved since we heard it, in the 80s. Aim for longevity. That's ours. And always be kaizening. Kaizen. Kai is Japanese for time, and zen, the emotion surrounding it. And so that is kind of interpreted as leave everything better than you found it. Always be improving in everything you do. And if you can find teammates who are as enthusiastic about those things, chef,
hire them.
You win. Right, exactly.
There you go. There's the recipe for all success, right? The right people. Yes. I love it. Love it.
Exactly. Great people. Great people.
Yeah, it's all about the people. Nice. Cool. So you guys ready for a little bit of a episode questions? So we'll start with you, Alasdair. Yep. Who's your favorite Balsamiq pet team member and why?
See, I knew this was coming, and a couple of my coworkers saw this question was coming. And so here's the thing: I'm one of the few people at Balsamiq who doesn't own a pet, but I'm lucky to be surrounded by people. And I'm going to fess up right now: I am by nature a cat person. So my first answer was always going to be Brendan's cat, who appears frequently in meetings, either seen or heard or both. But I met a dog about 4 or 5 years ago who changed my opinion of dogs dramatically. And so I'm all about Cooper and Odin and Kachow and all of the other dogs in Balsamiq. So I am going to answer this question by not answering the questions because I love them all.
Yes, great question. Great answer. So all the cat people out there, you can be convinced that dogs are great as well.
It's possible.
It's possible. So Lake Tahoe, California, what's your favorite activity to do in summertime?
That's an easy one. I'm a golfer. I got this from my dad. I'm a crazy golfer. I try and play every week, at least once a week if I can. I joined the NCGA, the Northern California Golf Association, about 5 years ago, and to get a handicap. And so now I'm participating as frequently as I can in tournament events. I got my handicap down from 22 to 15, which feels like, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it to the PGA Tour, but it gets under your skin, man. I love hitting that little white ball.
always be kaizening, right? I mean, as long as you're improving, that's what matters, right? Here you go.
That's exactly right.
There you go. Lives all over.
I love it.
Cool. Valerie.
Way to go, Akil. Way to bring it home.
Exactly. All right. So we have Cooper and Nala. I'm guessing those are your dogs?
Yes, I have. Cooper is 18 years old. He's a little rescue mutt, and he's my shadow. Nala is his big sister. She's a 17-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback. So they're hilarious together. So Cooper, I'm the head chef here at Balsamiq, and one of our pull-down help menu features is what should I make for dinner, right? And so I have to test out all these recipes, and Cooper votes with pasta water. So he'll take anything that I make, but he likes it double extra if I give him a ladle of pasta water in it. And we call it dog soup. So
nice.
Thanks for asking, by the way.
No. It's good to know. And then, I don't know if any dog likes to go to the vet, but you're saying one, how's the one that hates most going to the vet? Which one is that?
It's Cooper.
Yeah.
We walk to our vet, we try to live car free here, and we can't even walk toward, in the direction of the vet. So he's got the vet on the mind at all times. So he's like out the door and turn to the right. Otherwise, no, he'll sit down.
Oh, really? Okay. It's a scary place. He knows. Yeah. Just not
right.
Yeah. I don't
but there's lots of other things over there. It's not just the vet.
Yeah. Cool. I'm going to move. So the next questions are going to be for both of you guys. Just a couple of rapid fire questions. And maybe, Alasdair, you kind of mentioned this, but maybe I don't know if there's something else. Is there a favorite hobby outside of work that you find gets you into flow state?
That's a good question. I like to walk. I live in a beautiful place where at least, maybe 7 months of the year, there's no snow on the ground. And, I live right next to a meadow. I can walk to Lake Tahoe itself in about 15 minutes. And the scenery is beautiful. So I do like to walk. Once winter gets going, and I put my golf clubs away, then I get my snowboard out and I dust off my snowboard because I'm an avid snowboarder. So I do try, and occasionally, because, I'm blessed to work at a company where life-work balance is important. And, I can get a morning off to go get in 2 hours of runs on the hill before I come to my desk. So, if I'm not golfing, I'm snowboarding, but always outside in this beautiful location. Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Valerie?
Well, my way that I get zen about work is I completely change gears, and I live right near an elementary school, and I'm the afternoon dismissal crossing guard. Thank you very much. So I scoot over there, and there's a street that's, fairly busy, and that's me with my stop sign and all my little friends. And, I just completely remove myself from the technical world and get very, very out in the sunshine, out in traffic with some families and, nutty situations.
That's
and
awesome.
then by the time I get back to my desk, you're just completely refreshed. I am just completely refreshed. So,
yeah. Nice. Love it.
Give back, help.
Yeah.
That's the way to clear your head, is go help somebody.
Maybe a question on that. So, giving back and helping, is there a way you've thought of how to do that effectively, or is it just, somebody asked you or just an opportunity came up and you kind of volunteered, or are you actively looking for these things? Either one.
Sorry, I'll just jump in quickly and say, people who are open to opportunity, they're the people who the opportunity comes to, right? This happened to be a neighbor was posting. She works in the office at the school, and she was like, it's 40 minutes a day nobody wants this job. Could anybody help us out? Nice. So anyway, Alasdair, I jumped on you. Go.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as someone who works in support, and I think a lot of people who work in support find this, I have become the kind of unofficial technical support person for my peer group. So when someone has a problem with their computer, I get a call, and, I'm an avid poker player, and, we moved out of the home game onto online, and we play this online poker game every Wednesday, and I'll often get a call on a Wednesday afternoon, like, I can't log into my poker client. Can you please come in? And so I'll jump in the car and go over there because it helps me to help them to lose money. So,
okay. So there's a reason behind that help. Yeah.
But the kind of unofficial, peer group technical support is how I get to volunteer.
Nice. Awesome. And then in terms of career path, right? If somebody's looking to join, your team, either one of you guys, your division, your department, or Balsamiq, other than, empathy being one characteristic, what else should, people listening in look to develop, in their career, in the professional areas? Is there any software skills, whether it's hard or soft skills, they should be thinking about developing if they want to work with you guys?
Alasdair, why don't you take the technical response and then I'll give my philosophical response.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this is a really good question. And, based on my own experience, I've always worked in support, but I've done support for wireless mobile, online color correction, Java virtual machines, online video hosting, and wireframing. And, those disciplines have things in common, but, from a kind of product point of view, they couldn't be more different. And so, what I've learned is that it's the underlying skills that are more important. Your ability to hear customers, your ability to communicate well with customers, your ability to solve problems. And I think, there's a parallel. I worked in winter sports. I took a career break and worked in winter sports for a few seasons. I learned to become a snowboard instructor. I worked at a ski school. And they have a saying in ski school when they're looking for new ski instructors, and that is that you hire the smile and you train the feet. So we have a lot of people who come in the door and they think they're the world's best skiers, and they think that because of that, they're going to be a great ski instructor. And it's not true. You hire people because of their soft skills, how they handle classes, how they communicate with their customers, how they adapt to different customer needs. You can teach anyone to teach skiing, but teaching someone to handle customers is a whole different thing. So I would say, hire the smile and train the hands. If you find someone that's got the fundamentals of customer interaction down and communication, then whether it's mobile wireless or Java virtual machines or wireframing, the technical skills can come later. And it's not that they're not important. Being a fast learner, being able to learn is important, but I think the underlying skills are more important.
Nice. Anything to add to that, Val?
Yeah. So right along with that, when you're talking about a small SaaS company or a small SaaS team, I'm just going to give you the straight dope. You can't have somebody who's a climber. And we need and have been lucky to find people who don't want to work up a corporate ladder and go from, okay, this year I'm going to do this, and next year I'll be the senior that. And after that, I'm going to move into management for 2 or 3 years. And pretty soon I'll be a VP and then, whatever. Mm-hmm. This ain't that, right? If you make sure that that's, see rule 1, love your problem. If you find somebody who loves this is what we do, right? This job is going to change ridiculously just because of the nature of SaaS, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be, it's not boring, but it's going to always be this problem, right? And if you define your problem well, and you define it so that people know when they're looking to join, this is the problem we're solving for. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to change. This isn't a 1 year, 3 year goal. This is our company goal, right? Once you strain out those people, and there's plenty of work for those people. There's lots of big companies. If you have that need or want, or historically that's what you thought you wanted, that exists still. But for hiring, you have to just be straight up honest about what we're doing is we're working on this problem together. Are you into it?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess maybe tying to that, the next question, you guys have been both working for Balsamiq for, I'm guessing, close to a decade or more. What motivates you to continue still working so hard?
Yeah, Alasdair, why are you still working so hard?
That's easy. People ask me what I look for in a company, and I think I like to be surrounded by good, smart, talented people who are great at what they do, and I have that in spades at Balsamiq. And so just doing a good job for my teammates, and being a good teammate. That is all I need to get out of bed in the morning. And I'm not very good at getting out of bed in the morning.
That's a particularly sore spot for Alasdair and me because we're in California. And so they're waiting for us at 8 a.m. to get up and beyond, right? Everybody else is Chicago, Europe. And so we're the last ones. And both Alasdair and I are excellent sleepers. So,
so what gets you up every morning at 8 a.m., Val? What gets you excited?
Oh, this is the funnest job. This is just fun. And, Alasdair's absolutely right. The people, this could be dead killing, right? If you've got the wrong ideas, the wrong goals, the wrong tools. We just have taken the pressure off to say, hey, team, what's going to make it better for the customer? Because essentially when things are best for the customer, we just have to grease the process so that everything works. We just have to deal with the sore thumbs that stick out every now and again. And those are the good problems, right? Like, why did that happen when we thought? So I have enthusiastic teammates with great senses of humor, and we like to play jokes and tricks and travel together. And we've got a wiki page of stories that we're waiting to tell when we can finally get back together at a bar in Bologna. So,
Cool. I guess last question to add to that, maybe just in one word, what is it you love the most about Balsamiq? I know it's the money for you, Valerie. No, kidding.
Yeah, Ali, what do you love?
I love the people.
That's the best.
People.
Yeah. And that's not just my coworkers, that's my customers as well. I'm empowered to do a good job on behalf of my customers, and it makes doing a good job so pleasant. And, I find so many companies, they put up roadblocks and, they make it hard for their employees to provide great service. And providing great service is, sometimes providing great service is easier than providing poor service. But some companies have a real habit of just, putting a spanner in the works. So, it's all about the people for me.
How about you, Val?
I think that it exists. This is a very unusual time, and it is a very unusual technology. And it had to come about when, computer images were starting to be able to move and link and, flash. Peldy and I had to be working at the same place. It had to, so many things fell into place. It's just a great story, And he came to California to learn, if I wanted to do this, how would I, knock, knock, knock. Hey, I'd like to learn how to run a software company here, and then take this model back to my hometown and make sure we're super foodies, like he's just set us up to be happy and satisfied. It's really enough. He's trying to give us all, we're trying to provide enough. And when you have people who can be happy with enough, it's not those climbers. It's, that's Balsamiq. That's our Balsamiq. We call each other. And I think we have enough.
That's a powerful reason. Yeah. Just being happy with enough. I guess most people maybe find that hard to grasp, but that's a good point. Cool. Thank you guys so much for joining today. Is there anything else you guys want to add or just for people takeaways before we wrap this up?
No, I really appreciate the time, and I can't wait to hear the other podcasts.
Yeah, and I'll just say, we're remote. We were distributed since day one, and I know if people get lonely and you just want to reach out and talk to us about working remote on a SaaS or, any of this stuff, you know how to find us, and we would just love to continue a dialogue. So
awesome. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Appreciate you jumping on SaaS District Show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Thank you all for watching this episode and joining SaaS District today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future episodes where we interview top leaders in the SaaS industry. If you're a SaaS company looking to grow and unlock the true value of your business, get in touch with us at Horizon Capital, and myself or one of our consultants will provide a free assessment to help you get there and hit your goals. If you have any feedback or suggestions for this podcast, please comment down below and help us improve our content for you all. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.